What's up, enthusiasts? It's your boy Rob, back with another video. Guys, after last week's video with all the drama from Amazon and GW, I figured it'd be a nice time to slow it down. Just take it down a notch, guys. Take all the drama down. And let's talk about our favorite board game, everyone's favorite board game from back in the day, revitalize HeroQuest. That is because HeroQuest or Avalon Hill has just announced their new expansion. So we're going to get into that. We're going to watch a video from Always Bored, Never Boring, which is a great YouTuber. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, go ahead and do it. Give his video a like. But let's jump into it.
Hello and welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. As far as I'm concerned, Avalon Hill are on a bit of a winning streak right now.
They really are.
For a start, I think they have been doing a really good job with HeroQuest, and I feel like the game continues to be in safe hands.
So I will echo that. I think they have really shown themselves and actually just have made me comfortable with them having total control over this IP. Like anywhere they want to take this game from this point is cool with me. Can't wait to see what is down the road.
Furthermore, they have recently released the very solid card game Betrayal Deck of Lost Souls.
Haven't played that.
They're continuing to support the splendidly ridiculous Betrayal at House on the Hill, which reminds me, I
played the old version of this. It was okay. It was like I played it with the family. I think we got to the part where the betrayer kind of was like announced, and then we kind of just stopped playing after that. We kind of like lost feelings for the game after that. I think we liked the cooperative play kind of at the beginning. So that whole hidden like killer thing, or I didn't care for that.
Should pick up the Scooby-Doo reskin for that game, and they are now the stewards of the classic Games Workshop property Talisman, the magical quest game. So when I hear official news from the team at Avalon Hill, you can bet.
So guys, this is like a bonus here. This is like a bonus because, I mean, we came here to talk about HeroQuest, but we're going to get a little tidbit from Talisman, which, by the way, we played the hell out of it. Quick story, really quick story. We'll get back to this video. But we were playing 4th edition, which was by Fantasy Flight Games, and we would play it as like a break from D&D. So we finish a campaign, we play Talisman for a couple of nights in a row because, well, not in a row, but every meeting day, every time we get up every other week. So bi-weekly we'd get up together and play. But there was a time we were going in hard on Talisman to the point that we were just like, oh God, I don't think we can play this anymore.
I'm taking notice. And we have been spoiled with good news over the last few days, with several announcements coming out of the Italian gaming convention Play the Games Festival, which ran from the 17th to the 19th of May 2024 at Modena. First of all, Avalon Hill's new edition of Talisman has now gone up for pre-order, and we have had our first official look at some of the components. And good grief, this looks beautiful.
Let's look at them. Oh.
Talisman is a very simple game that tells its story through the chaos of random card flips and dice rolls.
Yeah, it is a random game,
part
guys.
of every game is the joy.
If you guys don't like randomness, you will not like this game because it's roll to move. It's drawing your enemy, drawing cards for your enemies and pretty much combat. Obviously, we've got some dice rolling and stuff, but if you are not a fan of the random, I don't know if you will enjoy this game, but it's a perfect intro game for newbies to the tabletop hobby. Like if you've got like you've got family members and you're wanting to introduce them to something that's more like tabletop oriented, like for like enthusiasts, you know, so beyond like Chutes and Ladders and beyond Monopoly. This is like a good step forward if they love fantasy. So,
or despair of each adventure card drawn from the deck.
Ooh,
that being the case, presentation has always been a big part of the game, helping to create an immersive experience. And just look at the new artwork. It's gorgeous, taking up a good amount of space on the cards with bold keywords for easy reference.
Woven cards as well.
I've seen a few people express concern over the font, but to me it looks clean and easy to read.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's all that matters. I mean, I know some people like to have really like unique looking font. No, the text, card text is primary function is for you to be able to read the rules that are displayed on the card, and everything else is second fiddle. So, yeah, as long as it's legible, that's what really matters.
As far as I'm concerned. And I have to mention the card backs too. They are stunning, and the graphic designer here has absolutely earned their paycheck.
That ain't no AI right there.
The game comes with 12
pure
classic
skill.
characters, all with redesigned character cards and
Okay,
miniatures.
new sculpts.
I think my favourite is the Wizard. That is a proper old school.
Now, I will say this about the Fantasy Flight version, 4th edition. It was, some of the models were scaled a little awkwardly. You had some guy, I remember, I think it was the elf. He had like a small head, and then you had a character, I can't remember, I think it was like the ogre, that was like big, but he wasn't like actually big. So it's like they were just out of scale. I don't know if they had a bunch of different like sculptors working on this thing. You know, this is probably when they were still doing a lot of hand sculpting. I don't know how they missed the mark on those models, but you know, the game is still fun regardless of the quality. The quality was good. It was just the sculpting. The actual sculpts were a little hit or miss.
Wizard. I grew up playing the 2nd edition of Talisman, and I do like that, just as they did with HeroQuest, Avalon Hill have leaned on the original art and aesthetic for this new edition. Each miniature is like a homage. The monk with his mace and backpack, the troll with his gigantic club and mane of wild hair. I think you can look at any of these miniatures and say, hey, I remember that character. And that is exactly as it should be.
So just looking at the board, the art looks phenomenal. And it's not like the game is coming from a place where it had bad art. The 4th edition that I had, I had obviously the base. I had, I think, 3 expansions. I had like 3 of the corners. And then I had like, I think 2 or 3 of the small box, maybe even 4. I had a lot to go with this game. I think I was missing just very few expansions. I don't think I played everything because the game would get bananas if you were breaking out all the expansions, pretty much the 4 corners, all the small boxes. You'd have like the wolf, and just, it would be too crazy. So it was something you kind of had to pace yourself. You know, you had to break out one expansion for one game session, and then you break out another expansion for a different game session.
You see plenty of other quality components in the images too. The good old cones of Dunshire for tracking stats, plastic gold coins,
the cones.
And lovely custom
look at them dice. Look at those dice. Those dice are boss. I mean, look at that. Can you guys tell my age by me saying boss? I don't think people say that anymore. But yeah, those dice. I would just give me those dice. Even if I don't get the game, just give me those. I don't think I'd even want to roll those. I'd probably to put those on display somewhere. I love the way they look. I wonder if those are... I remember I think the original game had like wooden dice, or at least I remember wooden dice for some reason.
Is not everybody's cup of tea, that's true, and I certainly wouldn't call it the cream of game design. But it is a classic, a part of gaming heritage, and it is dumb, silly fun. Every game tells a story, and it's a fabulous way to introduce fantasy gaming to new players. I did want a 2nd edition copy of Talisman for my own collection, but looking at this new edition, I think I've changed my mind. I can't wait to see more of this. Fortunately, we won't have long to wait. Talisman is set for release in August 2024.
That's right around the corners, boys. Go ahead, get your pre-orders locked in. If you're interested, if you've never played Talisman before, clearly this would be the best time for you to go scoop up a copy, because I think any other previous edition will just be bonkers on price. So come on. I mean, if this is priced anywhere from, I'd say, $49 to $60, I think this would be a decent buy for what you're getting. You're getting miniatures, all the cards and stuff like that, and you know they're going to have expansions for this. There's no way they're not going to have the expansions. They probably already have them already set up and ready, already at the printers.
And you can pre-order it right now from several online retailers such as Amazon in the US and Zatu in the UK. It looks like the recommended retail price is $59.99 and Zatu have it listed at £61, which admittedly does feel a little steep for Talisman. But if it really is a premium product as it looks... I
mean, if you're looking at the market now, I mean, what game with miniatures and a decent sized board, cards, all the bells and whistles, where are you paying less than that? I mean, I can't even think of a game off the top of my head, other than games that are sitting at like Target and maybe Walmart, where they're probably buying so many copies, they're getting it for a really good price, or they're like an exclusive to those stores. So I mean, $60, that's not too much to ask for. I think that's a reasonable price.
Looks to be, it may justify that price. While I am really excited to see a childhood favourite getting a fresh lick of paint, the really exciting news from this weekend was regarding one of my favourite games of all time,
The Sorceress is
HeroQuest.
black. So, the Sorceress was originally, I believe she had dark hair. She's like Asian, I believe, something along that line. So they're looking out for the sisters. You know, we got a sister sorceress.
Quite some time ago, rumours began circulating of a forthcoming HeroQuest adventure pack called Jungles of Delthrak. Some online stores were
Delthrak.
listing product details long before they should have been, and while I think it's fair to say that most people believed such an expansion would be coming out, the details we had seemed a bit suspicious. The box cover in the listings were
remember.
clearly fake, and there were
I remember when these were going up all over Facebook, and people were just speculating everything under the sun. Looks like they hit the nail on the head with the name. And from the thumbnail, I think obviously the whole jungle theme, so they got that down. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
some oddities in the product details, such as all the enemies being translucent
Love the
plastic.
clipping of the models off
Further
to the
leaks
side.
and rumours did surface, but needless to say,
Like somebody was like, I just learned how to use Photoshop. I'm just gonna go ahead and paste this on here, and I'm not gonna even try to like put a clipping mask and remove these bits of models that are hanging on the side. They're like, nah, it's not worth the time.
we were all waiting for something official. And at Play, that's exactly what we got with the reveal of the official box art.
There we go.
At the
There we go,
moment,
boys.
Unfortunately, I think we have only had a reveal of the box lid. All the juicy info is always on the back. But at least
Yeah.
we can get an idea of what this expansion is all about. The obvious thing to note is we have new heroes on the cover. This is
So I just missed him to go back real quick. So if you look along, I'm like pointing at the screen. If you look along the side of the box, you can see like a very faint, like, I don't know if that's a texture or, it's a graphic along the side, but it looks really cool. I don't know how well that's showing up for you guys, but for me, I can see it clear as day. And I don't recall that being on any of I'm looking back to my boxes right now. The other boxes have been just black. Guys, if you have noticed any of this kind of like really cool, intricate design along the sides, let me know. But I think I love those kind of subtle details. So, yeah. Good call, guys. Good call, Avalon Hill.
always on the back. But at least we can get an idea of what this expansion is all about. The obvious thing to note is we have new heroes on the cover. This is interesting because one is a female dwarf and the other is a male human.
I'm not into
The initial
dwarves.
thought was that these might be alternatives for existing
I'm an
hero
elf
classes,
guy.
so we would finally have our retail version of the female dwarf.
Okay.
However, I feel like both of the depicted characters,
That's a barbarian.
based on weapons and attire, are the same hero class, and we do know
So that would be. I mean, I guess that's okay. I mean, it's an expansion, so you've got all your other models, all your other character classes. So getting, if they are barbarians, or maybe they're gonna call them fighters or something like that. That'd be kind of cool if they're like just fighters. But we've got the knight. So it's we wouldn't really need. I mean, he's kind of like a fighter. You would be the fighter in this universe. So I'm thinking we got barbarians, guys. I think
we are getting a new hero class in this expansion.
I
I
think
think we have some kind of adventurer, ranger, or survivalist.
Okay,
here.
that's what he. I think we're getting
Or
barbarians.
at least it looks to me like we aren't just getting a male and female version,
I wonder if
but
he's thinking
two
the same
different
thing.
races.
See, I wonder if he's going the same place that I'm thinking right now. I'm going to say it first, and we'll see where he goes with his opinion. I think, at least for the guy with the axe, I think he's going to be a barbarian class, and we're getting some abilities for the barbarians. I think we're getting abilities for the barbarian. Finally, finally he won't be dependent on the wizard to buff him. He's gonna have his own. He's gonna have his own abilities.
Obviously, the original dwarf class
I'm telling
was
you.
defined
I'm
by
telling
being a
you.
dwarf.
I can
The
feel
elf
it.
by being an elf.
Feel
the
it.
rogue heir was defined by being from the elvish royal family. The non-limited guardian knight could have been anything under that helmet. But if the hero class is, for example, adventurer, it doesn't matter if that hero is a human, a dwarf, an elf, a banana, a female aardvark, or a small off-duty Czechoslovakian traffic warden. That means there is an opportunity to be more creative with the miniatures. If that's what has happened here, and we are getting a female dwarf and male human version of the same hero class, that would be a first for HeroQuest, and a move I am thoroughly on board with.
Yeah.
Alt
Give it that
genders are
role-playing,
fine,
like,
but two distinct
aspect.
miniatures that feel like unique characters with their own history is a really interesting development. Anyway, I don't want to talk too long here. I'm sure we will be getting more reveals soon, but I did also want to point out the variety of monsters we see on the cover. The giant snake takes pride of place, but we also have a gorilla which appears to be wearing some kind of magical amulet.
Guys, so taking a closer look at this box art. Now, you guys know I'm a graphic designer. I'm somewhat of an artist. My brother was blessed with the real artistical skills for illustration, but I dabble. So I gotta say, I'm not gonna say they missed the mark with this box art. I'm not gonna say that, okay? It looks, I'm okay with it, but there's something about it that looks like they toned it down a bit. Like they said, okay, let's turn down the real like dark, sinister, like threatening imagery, and let's just kind of, let's make it a little brighter. And maybe that's because of the setting. They're kind of pulling it out of a dreary dungeon, and it's out into this like lush like jungle, while you're getting the greens and the purples and stuff like that. But like even looking past that, let me try not to go on too long with this, but looking at like the gorilla there, like he just kind of looks a little comical to me, and then more so even the snake. The snake looks a little, he doesn't look as threatening as I would like him to look. Or, if I were drawing it and I had the ability to draw something this well, I think it should have looked a little more like fearsome, like a little more threatening, a little darker, just compared to if you look at the original box, or not the original box, but the Avalon Hill's release core game, there's just, I wish I would pull out. You guys got the box. Look at the box. Just look at the skeleton warriors in the back and the chaos warriors, or did I say chaos? I didn't say chaos. But just look at those guys in the back and how like threatening they look and how dark and menacing they were on the box and the other boxes. So this one it's a little bit of a miss for me. It's I'm not giving it 2 thumbs up. I'm getting like 1 thumb is up and the other one's kind of like kind of down like that. So all right, I've went on too long.
I'm thinking some kind of gorilla grodd boss here. And we're also getting something that has been a glaring omission from HeroQuest since 1989. Giant spiders. No good dungeon crawler is complete without giant spiders.
So very true.
I see 6 on the cover, and I would expect to get at least that many miniatures for them, so we can have terrifying swarms to fight through.
And they're giant spiders. So, question, you guys can go ahead and drop this down in the comment. Do you think we're going to be getting spiders that are single base, or we're going to get spider swarms? So like a bunch of like small spiders on one base, or are they going to go with a larger like 4x4 base, or I guess that's a 50mm base, and then maybe put 2 or 3 big ones on there? That would be cool. That would be cool and different. So from what you would typically see.
There isn't a whole lot more to glean from this art. The theme does suggest we're going to be getting a lot more outside locations, but we can see a temple in the background, some remnants of an ancient civilization. So I do expect, for the most part, we are still going to be traipsing through the same old dungeons we are familiar with. Just
all right,
a few.
I gotta stop it again, guys. Good thing this is a short video, because I am wearing the play button out. So, do you guys think this would be a good time for Avalon Hill to introduce a new board? Personally, I've been wanting a new board, for a while. Like not even changing the dungeon layout. Like, we can still have our original layout, but maybe just changing the art a little bit. I know we can do overlays, but I kind of just want a new board. So, I mean, a new board with new paths, a new layout would be awesome. But then I guess that would limit the use of it as well, because you wouldn't be able to play any of the old content with the new board if that were the case. But we'll see what happens.
Overlays for outside areas or parts of the temple that have collapsed, allowing vines and other plants to creep inside.
That would
This
be
is
cool.
clearly the most different environment we have explored since the icy north of the Frozen Horror, so I am hoping Avalon Hill will really lean into the idea of overlays and how they can be used to create a compelling environment that feels completely new. Speaking of completely new, Jungles of Delthrak is of course a brand new expansion, rather than a reimagining or updating of a previously existing expansion. This is only the second time Avalon Hill have done this, the other completely original expansion being Rise of the Dreadmoon, which I thought was excellent without fully hitting the target.
So, I mean, so that lets you know the Dreadmoon expansion tells you that Avalon Hill, or Avalon Hills, is it hill or just hills? Is it plural? They know what they're doing. The IP is in good hands. So I'm expecting good things for the
regarding
for
what
the
it could
Jungles
be.
of Delthrak.
This makes Jungles of Delthrak particularly exciting, as Avalon Hill have a chance to flex their creative muscles a little bit more. For this expansion, they brought on board Levi Coombs of Planet X Games, whose background in RPGs means we are probably going to see a lot more role-playing elements here. Over on X, he has announced that his contribution to the game makes it weirder and wilder, with new mechanics, new monsters, new treasures, and all new endings.
All new endings? Multiple endings? Choose your own path like adventure game? That sign me up. Sign me up. They can continue that. Like, obviously we need to see how this plays first. But then moving on, if it works out and it still has that HeroQuest vibe, I would love to have more of a role-playing aspect in the game where it's like, okay, we don't know where the adventure or how it's going to branch off. So, oh yeah, that's a really great idea. I really hope they knock this one out of the park.
That final point regarding endings is because for the first time, a HeroQuest expansion is going to feature a branching questline. The quest book, charting a surprisingly uninspiring sounding adventure in which a powerful dwarven MacGuffin has been stolen in a land infected by a nefarious presence, contains 16 quests, but a playthrough only involves going through 10 of them.
Yeah.
Choices you make along the way will determine which path you take and what the final outcome of the quest will be. This potentially makes Jungles of Delthrak.
Now, I know because of the style of the game, you're kind of like, I know some people could be like, well, does it even matter? Because if you're going to only play certain missions, you're not going to see the other ones. But that instantly gives you replay. Now, excuse me, I should have brought a drink. I don't have my sweet tea, guys. I don't have my sweet tea. I have done the South wrong here. I have not represented as a Southern boy. Someone get me some sweet tea stat, guys. But I'm anxious to see how this plays out with the branching storylines. And again, what I was kind of saying before I got off track with the sweet tea. I know some people may not like that. I think that is what the franchise needs. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's what I.
The most replayable questline so far. I think the only pause for concern I have right now is Levi made a comment that he had purposefully injected Easter eggs into the campaign for Planet X fans to spot. If they are incredibly subtle and unobtrusive, that's fine. But
So I'm not familiar with Planet X. If you guys know anything about it, let me know. I will probably Google it after we're done here. It sounds like it's a sci-fi game, and so I don't know how that would fit into HeroQuest. I hope it's very subtle, because that could just take you out of the story completely.
Always concerns me when an outside influence, in this case a freelance creator, starts to inject elements from other settings, products, or stories that feel out of place. HeroQuest is a beloved classic, and HeroQuest fans are rightly protective of it, and they will call out anything that feels like outsiders trampling over their treasures for the sake of a wink at the camera.
We definitely
But
will.
that all remains to be seen, and at the moment it feels like there is a lot more to be excited about than there is to be worried about.
I'm not feeling that snake.
The expansion is set for an August release, and I have already seen pre-orders going up around the internet at around the £40 mark in the UK.
Okay.
I'm not sure I have much more to add at this juncture, so I am going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, if you like the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really like the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully, I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
All right, guys, so that was the video from Always Bored, Never Boring, and go ahead and give him a like and a sub if you haven't already. Make sure you do the same for me. Guys, so I'm excited. I mean, when am I not excited about HeroQuest? Also, if you guys have not joined the HeroQuest Fanatic page over on Facebook, go do that. You can talk to me. You can message me anytime on there, all you want. I'm pretty much on there every day. If I'm not just scrolling, not doom scrolling, I'm chatting with someone on there, and we usually talk about a lot of custom things on that HeroQuest group page. So HeroQuest Fanatic, if you have not joined that group yet, go ahead and do that. Guys, I mean, this is a good video for me. This is a good video. It's got that nostalgia just dripping right now, bro. Because we got the Talisman, the 5th edition of Talisman, which is big news for me. I'm going to let my old gaming group, my old D&D group know. I still talk to 3 of the guys. 2 of them, unfortunately, we don't know where they are anymore. One is kind of gone on. I think he started playing D&D at the store. And the young lady, there was a breakup or something, personal stuff with them. But for the most part, guys, I'm going to definitely be putting my pre-order in. I hope you do too. If you are into HeroQuest, and if you've never played Talisman, go get a copy of Talisman. You will not regret it. And if you do regret buying a copy of Talisman, it's a great game you can gift to somebody else. Guys, that's it for me. Go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Guys, I got some more links down in the description of the video. And as always, I'll see you when I see you.